Hello, thanks for having me today. So I present Peace on behalf of the consortium. So we are the Permafrost guys. So we work on Permafrost ecosystem and how they change across the Arctic. We focus on, the time is not flying. Now it's flying. So we are focusing on the cycling of carbon and nutrients, and in particular nitrogen and phosphorus, from the soil, vegetation, soil, to the rivers. So our main question is how do climate-driven degradation of permafrost and changes in vegetation affect the dynamics of carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus in these Arctic ecosystems, and in particular how it affects the dynamics and the transfers from the vegetation, plants, soil, and water. Go back. So one important thing of our project is the partnerships we have with our foreign colleagues, in particular in Canada and in Sweden, Denmark, Belgium. And they allow us to visit their fieldwork. They have the habit they used to work on, and we share interest in these topics. So we have 5 main objectives, and we are really original. We have 5 work packages to deal with that. The first is to build an open database that will be open access on the internet. And it will be standardized, and it will connect with the already existing database that integrates all the carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus data and in the continuum and a long time with the fluxes involved. The second work package is about how these stocks and composition are spread over the Arctic. The third is deals more with the processes involved in the mineralization, the leaching, the storage of carbon and the nutrients. The fourth is to follow the transfers of this carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus during growing season, so from June to October, a long time at a high frequency in the soil, but mainly in rivers. And finally, we want to deal with modeling to scale up everything and to model the abiotic and biotic properties and parameters. So that's what we plan. And the highlights of 2024 are we have hired people. And you can visit and discuss with Aliena. She's in the room, and she will present her research dealing with the characterization of organic matter and nutrients in permafrost soils and rivers. And Laura will start as assistant engineer at Sorbonne University, and she will work with isotopic labeling of plants and how to grow Arctic plants in Arctic conditions in the synchrotron of Île-de-France. And what we've done this year, we have started the project, which is already something. And then we have thought about the methodological problems and development we have to do about how we collect, how we incubate in situ in these environments, how we test the preservation of our soil and water samples from this remote sites to our labs, and also how we parameterize the ecotron for like frozen conditions and also thawed conditions. So this year we went to Canada, we visited the samples, so we will work on samples that have been collected the last 10 years. And so we have met our colleagues in Canada, we have seen the samples, we'll characterize them, and they represent a wide diversity of ecosystems in the north. And then we went in the field in Churchill and in Abisko in Sweden this summer. And we have a poster about Canada, and then to finish what are our plans for the coming year. Go back to Canada. We will sample the permafrost samples that are kept frozen in the labs, and we plan to do various characterization of organic matter and nutrients, and you can discover more on the poster. And then we'll go to the field in June for Zackenberg in Greenland and in Churchill at the end of the growing season in September. And during this summer in 2025, some high-frequency sensors that will monitor carbon fluxes, but also nitrogen nitrates will be placed in the small rivers, small or big rivers you see on the pictures. And finally, we will perform the isotopic labeling of these Arctic plants and start the incubation in the Ecotron Île-de-France. And thanks a lot for your attention.